Welcome to Coffee Talk, and thank you for joining us today. On this show, we'll be chatting about the latest CU band buzz, our guest experiences, and kind of anything in between. For our show today, we'd like to introduce to you Thelia Miller, who's a senior clarinet major, or clarinetist here, and an education major. And so, welcome. Thanks for coming to Coffee Talk. So, tell me about how it is to do education.
So education is kind of like a catch-all. I guess everything, you gotta learn a little bit of everything. Because I'm birth to kindergarten.
Right.
And then but I had to learn about elementary ed and middle school ed.
Oh, so you had all those classes, regardless, even though you're specializing in birth to kindergarten.
Right. Yeah. And then there's a lot of testing involved. Like we got to take praxis, and then we got to take Ed TPA, which is a huge project. And then we also have to, like, if we go higher grades or we want to get more licensures, we have to take even more tests.
Right,
so there's a lot of like.
Boy, it sounds like the standard teacher work there. Lots of testing. Well, tell me a little bit about your experiences. You've been here 4 years?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. You got done quick.
Well, I transferred, and then it's taken a little bit longer because my credits didn't transfer right.
Yep, absolutely.
So
you're here 3 years. You're about to finish up. This is all good. Tell me about your experiences. During band, or experiences in your major. Tell us something that you experienced that you just want to share.
So experiences. In my major, like, because birth to kindergarten is super tiny, there's only like 5 of us.
Oh.
So like this last 3 semesters or so was only like just the 3 of us, and we were in every single class together.
Oh, interesting.
Which kind of gets old after a while.
Yeah.
I love them to death, but like it's being with the same people all the time, and like sometimes there's disagreement, like how we want it, like, because I'm very much like a Reggio Emilia kind of teacher, so like I like to let kids play and let them have the control, and like I just kind of give them experiences to do what they are interested in. And then there's another girl in my major that's very behavioralist, so she likes to be in control, and so there's been some times where we've had conflict.
Well, that's good
still,
that
like,
you can learn from each other.
Right.
That's a great thing. So that's a good experience, being in a smaller classroom, but in a situation where you are kind of forced to have to learn from each other because you've got to work in that same environment. So that's good. And some, I guess almost one-on-one experience there.
Right.
Pretty close to it. Well, tell me about experiences band. You've been doing concert band and marching band, and did you do basketball band at any time too?
I do basketball band since I've gotten here. I was sax first, and then
I see. So you've pretty much done the deal, all of it. So tell me about those experiences. How do you think that's impacted you here as a student? Has it? Some people have talked about it's given them a little more ability to, where maybe they were shy, and I'm sure that wasn't you.
No, it wasn't shy. So my first year was the first year, like, we did the marching band. It wasn't like we were in the uniforms yet, but it was like, we're going to have it next year, so here we go.
So it was that first experience of getting out on the field just a little bit.
Right.
For what's been had been the stadium band where you'd been playing in the stands. Yeah.
And I was on color guard that go around.
Oh,
so
I see.
I was going 2 times a week, like we did when we eventually got everything up and going, and then I switched to clarinet.
So you started, and I remember that now, but I forgot you started in color guard. So you really have done just about all of it. That's pretty cool. So, well, tell me, I mean, you got to have some memories here that stick out in your mind. What's some of your best memories that you have in your time here?
So a lot of my memories are with band because I spend a lot of my time with band.
Exactly.
Even though I haven't, I'm not a music major, but it's just kind of took up my time.
Because 75% of people in band aren't music majors. So, yeah.
And then, so one big memory is last year in women's tournament band, we had to take a bus to go to Radford.
Yes.
Because, we had to take a bus to go to High Point too, but Radford was the longest ride.
Right.
And all week, we went to High Point the first 2 days, and we went to Radford, and we were all kind of tired of riding the bus. And my brother, it had the charter, we had the charter bus with the TVs. My brother's hard of hearing, he can't hear anything, but he wanted to watch the movie because we're bored out of our mind.
Right.
It's not really fair.
It's a long trip up to Radford.
Right, and it was early, or late enough to where you couldn't really just go back to sleep, but it wasn't late enough to where we were exhausted yet. And so they put the DVD in, and like Hunter tried to like say, hey, can you turn on the captions? Hey, can you turn on the captions?
Oh, yeah.
But like the cheerleaders were in the front and they weren't really listening, or they couldn't really hear.
Yeah.
And then Matt DeAndre was like, hey, can we turn on the captions? And then like, which is, I think is really neat that like other band members like stood up for him. Was like, we have someone that can't hear. We need captions.
So, yeah.
And then later, like because the movie was Greatest Showman and we were all kind of tired of it by the end of it.
Yeah.
But then my brother also started doing like chess and stuff. So like this side of the bus was doing chess, and like we were doing like questions or like flip games or whatever with our phones. So we were all just goofing off and having fun.
Well, that sounds like fun. Yeah, that makes the trip go a little quicker for that long trip to Radford. And you know, looks like more trips this year too, because the girls are really good.
Yeah.
And so it looks like you know, don't want to jinx it, but maybe even past the Big South tournament. So you guys will get to do much more maybe this year. So, all right. So you've been in band. You kind of know us because you've been in just about everything. We kind of have a point of view. What do you think the band's philosophical point of view is, or what do we emphasize? What's important to us?
I think we emphasize like ownership. Like, so if I mess up on something, like it's a really big emphasis on the groups that like, hey, I messed up. Like not just like or if I don't know something, like it's on you to like take the time and to do it. So like you having personal ownership, which is something that like in high school band, I mean it's been a long time since I've been in high school, like 6 years since I've been in high school, but we like it wasn't like if you did something wrong, own up to it. But like here, it's very much like you gotta own up to it. Or if you're messing up a part, you've got to take your own ownership and go off and fix it.
Yeah,
right. So that's a big thing. And another thing too is that you have to take ownership of like your mental state. So marching band is like a lot, and basketball band usually is a lot. But this year, it actually kind of worked out that we get a break, kind of, because usually before we would have basketball band like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then doubleheader on Saturday. It was kind of what it was last year and the year before that. But this year we only have like doubleheaders on Saturday, and then like maybe one or two throughout the week.
The more doubleheaders, the less weekday games.
Right.
It's a kind of so it depends on what you like.
Right. So for me, it's less stressful. But like if if you need time for tests, you got to make the time. You got to own the time to have it. Or if you need like a mental break, you need to own the time. Like, hey, I need a break. I can't do this right now, and then like give the heads up and not just not show up.
Yep. So, well, and it expedites the rehearsals too when somebody goes, yeah, that's me, and I'll fix that, and then you don't have to work at it. It makes it quicker. So, yeah, well, great. All right, so I guess we're already kind of pushing our time here. So, so let me ask you one quick question before we wrap it up. You're about to finish.
Yes.
There are people going to watch this broadcast, and you can give them a tip or two. As a possible band member in the future, maybe next year, what would you say, or as a student in general, what tip would you give the folks that are watching?
Find your herd.
Interesting.
I guess
Interesting
kind of
way
the
to
thing.
put it, yeah.
So if like you don't fit in this place, you'll fit in somewhere on campus. So just find your herd and kind of, and you don't have to like stick to hip with them, but like my herd happens to be like my brother and like our friends, and we've made our herd like kind of branched out. Like I was friends with Emma first, and now Emma's dating my brother, and then for a while, and then friends with Eileen from Emma, and then like the herd just kind of formed.
Right. So yeah, find your niche, your place, right?
Right.
That's, yep, because everybody needs their family, so to speak, and it's nice because all those people you mentioned are band people, and you found your family in the band people. So that's awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck with your finishing of the degree. It's coming soon. May
and
will
big girl job.
And yes, it's time to adult. So, well, congratulations to you. Well, thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to tune in next week. Well, we'll meet another guest and talk to them about their band experiences here at Campbell University.